It's the fastest hour on television.
Oh, it really is.
It gets done.
I feel like they cheat you. I feel like they cheat.
Might want to tighten that up.
Drop my microphone.
That time I did laugh.
Can I come in naked like everybody else does in that show?
You can.
Shame. Ring the bell.
He's like, I'm a drunken, horny little monster, and I know it.
Stick around, 'cause I am coming back. And I know someday I'm gonna make it bad.
We talk about shit we talk about anyway. Just
seriously. That's the plan. That's the dream. But anyway, all right, let's get to the show. Hello and welcome to this week's episode of the Nick, Jon, and Jamie Show. I am Jon.
I'm Nick.
And I am Jamie.
We're doing back-to-back episodes. Full disclosure, we're going to fool you a little bit because we're going to stagger them and put them out. We put them out every Thursday, so this will be not this week's, but the next week's episode today, being the 18th of June. So we'd like to be current on the news, so we're not going to really do much of the news because the news didn't happen yet.
Yeah, right. Can't predict the future, right?
Yeah, I'm actually going on vacation, so that's why we're going to take
no excuses. You come home for that shit.
I need a mobile studio.
Space Force might be in full effect, dude.
Space.
He's like kicking his Space Force ass.
Space Force, dude.
Join the academy.
Yeah. Only I'm in if there's cloaking technology.
The Federation of Planets is calling. God, what a dope.
Yeah.
So we're gonna
shit.
We can dive into some fact checks though. All right, because I did have a couple of fact checks from last episode or the episode before.
I was going to say, how could you fast check last episode already?
You're right. It's from 2 episodes ago. Jamie, you were talking about, because we had the video game episode. You were talking about, what was that game where the kid was playing?
Yeah, the movie.
Yeah, the movie. Sorry. It's The Wizard.
Yes. I remember the poster and shit. I just can't think of the damn name.
He's still upset about the glove. That's all he knows.
The glove was cool in concept, but the shit was whack. It was whack, dude.
You just wanted a power glove.
Listen, dude.
You wanted a gauntlet.
It's cool concept, but it is fucking whack.
Yeah, the Wizard, 1989, about a boy and his brother, and they run away from home and hitch a ride cross country with the help of a girl they meet to complete the ultimate video game challenge,
which would be Super Mario 3.
Yes, exactly.
Dude, I gotta watch that again.
Circa 1990.
Probably doesn't hold up. I'm pretty sure.
It's got a 6 out of 10 for Metacritic.
Hell yeah, dude.
So
it ain't like a Caddyshack, my friend. That shit ain't gonna get better with time.
No.
Gleam in the Cube does, though.
You better not watch that, man, before you watch your Walking Dead.
We've been saying that for... He's never going to watch The Walking Dead. Let's just solve this right now.
I'll watch it.
A little report on this. Yeah. I didn't read the article, but there's reports that Shane somehow might be coming back. Or maybe like the end of Rick's life, maybe. Because he's been seen on set for when they're filming 9.
He's a zombie and got killed.
Well, maybe it's like a... foreshadowing. Flashback.
That's another one too. Speaking of which, your boy Chris Hardwick.
Yes,
dude,
man. He's
from the Nerds. Well,
is it true though?
No, but that's the thing. It's only accusations at this point, so we'll wait till the jury's out on this.
Because he like dumped her, and then all of a sudden this shit.
Yeah, I'm just gonna say the jury's out because
his show got canceled though. No,
I know.
Talking Dead.
That's okay. So
AMC put him on hiatus.
Yeah, but they also on the Nerdist they wiped his name clean of everything.
Did they really?
Yeah.
So
he built that whole thing.
Yeah, he did. So if it's true, what a dick.
Yes.
But if it's not true,
what did they say?
That
he
sucks,
did? I didn't read it.
There's no.
So it's a big long article. His former girlfriend of 3 years, Chloe Dykstra. He's married. He's I think he's having a kid and everything. So
yeah, dude. So she was like a daughter of like a billionaire or something like that. What's her name? Lydia something.
Oh, Hearst. That's his wife now.
Yeah, but her mom was like
Get closer to that, Mike.
Her mom was like some sort of...
Yeah, Patty Hearst.
Yes.
Yeah, of the Hearst Empire,
Yes.
the media empire.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's not going to have to be worried for scratch.
Yeah,
for
but
sure.
so what was she saying that he did? Like it was...
She said it was there was allegations of emotional abuse. There was allegations of...
Which could be in any relationship.
but there was an allegation of sexual assault.
Yeah.
So here's the thing. The nuances and complexities of a relationship... who knows what's going on behind the bedroom door? It's something that, well, you're right, Jamie, 100%. If he was a piece of shit,
oh yeah, I agree.
then he should pay the price. But there's
two sides to every coin.
the Hollywood is so
Yeah, like
super sensitive.
George Takei. Perfect example.
Yes.
All right. So like they came out, some guy said he did something or whatever. And then the guy came out and said he was like lying or took it back
And
or
he had
something
to fight
like
his ass off for that.
And still, like
He's probably just looking for a payday.
If you go out and ask 9 out of 10 people out in the world and be like, "Yo, George Takei," they'll be, "Oh, he's a dick because
Yeah.
he did that." But wait, no, he didn't, because the guy just took it back. So
Yeah.
that's my problem with the whole thing. It's like, it's like when they throw it out there, it's guilty. Like I said, though, if he did do it, yeah, what a piece of shit.
Yeah.
But who knows? You know what I mean?
Yeah, and that's just it. Nobody knows. I don't know. But
Yeah, who does?
And I liked him
100%
on
right.
Talking Dead. I mean, you don't know the person.
He's a talented entertainer, show host. You know,
I mean, but you don't know how somebody is behind closed doors, like you were saying.
truth.
You never know. But like, this was the girl he used to date,
Yeah.
right? Not the one he's currently married to.
Here's the thing, right? You're
Why? What took her so long to come out with this?
there was another allegation too that he had tried to somewhat blacklist her in the entertainment business.
Harvey Weinstein.
So if
But that was a girlfriend of 3 years. Maybe they had a bad breakup. Not saying is right what he did,
true.
but if he tries to blacklist her, then whatever. But if he actually did some sexual assault, that's a different story.
But blacklistings, I mean, think about it.
People do that all the time. It's all about a lot of jobs are politics, political.
There is politics in work, right?
Right.
And
It's not fair, but it happens. It happens in my job, your job, his
Truth.
job.
it does. It does. But it's shitty. It's just all
It is shitty. The whole
it's
thing
shitty
is
all
shitty.
the way around.
You wish there was a better solution for society, but at the end of the day, sometimes this is what you got to deal with, and you got to move on. I mean, who knows the ins and outs of what's going on with this girl and him? I'm
Dude,
not
he
saying
could be
he's right.
done.
Oh, I'm sure.
He could be done in Hollywood.
Or he probably will be. I mean, even if this turns out to
He's
like Jamie's
radioactive.
point, even if it turns out to not be true, and it's going to be super hard to prove it because it was just him and her. It's his word versus hers.
Yeah.
He might not ever go to jail, but what do you do now?
They were talking about Yeah, you're absolutely right. There was conversation around Matt Damon being taken out of an Ocean's 8.
Yeah,
Because he made a comment.
Yeah, he made a comment, and that's my problem
But
too.
he's Matt Damon.
But
Well,
it wasn't even a bad comment.
But that's my point
I forget
exactly.
what it was. Yeah, and then it
he's
goes-
not a sexual. He didn't sexually assault anybody. He wasn't a Harvey Weinstein.
All
And-
he said-
he just lumped into it,
but
though.
he just rubbed up against it,
All
trying to
he's-
be empathetic, and just put his foot in his stupid mouth, and then
Yeah,
all he
exactly.
was doing was what I just said.
Yeah.
He's like, it was about the Harvey Weinstein thing, if I remember correctly. Now, that would be a fact check, but I think it was, he's like, because they always criticize him and Matt Damon for being close to Harvey to get their career started.
Sure.
He's like, all he said, someone was like, well, I don't know the whole story, but you got to look at both sides, and something along those lines. And I think people criticized him for taking Harvey's side. He really wasn't. He was just trying, if I remember correctly, was just trying to say you got to approach it with an open mind.
But what I'm saying, yeah, and you're absolutely. I remember that too, Nick,
Mm-hmm.
and I think Chris Hardwick isn't nearly as big a star as Matt.
No.
Matt Damon survived it though, and he would.
And she came at him with
Yeah.
both horns, and she never called his name out in the piece that she wrote
Oh, no?
on her Medium. No, that never called his name out, and he's toast.
Yeah,
Like-
he's
like-
getting raked over the coals either way.
At least as a Matt Damon, I mean, Mel Gibson, even though he did all that racist asshole shit, he's still able to make movies.
And he was taped doing it, by the way. Yeah.
Calling a cop sugar tits and stuff.
Yeah.
But, like, that's my point. And anti-Semitic and all that.
Anti-Semitic like you wouldn't believe.
Like...
But I mean,
he's still working, and that's Mel Gibson,
but he's not. Seacrest is another one, dude, still working.
But at the end of the day, you're right. Mel Gibson was a bigger name. Now, Mel Gibson isn't making as big as movies as he used to.
Yeah,
truth.
He did take a hit in that factor.
He's still allowed to show his face, though.
He's still allowed to show his face, and he finally was allowed.
Hiring him.
He was still allowed at the Oscars this year. This was the first year he was allowed back.
Was it really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
But it's not unless you're like Harvey Weinstein and made a real wrong or
here's
Bill
the thing.
Cosby type deal.
Yeah.
If you just make a stupid comment or do a stupid incident, yeah, you'll be blackballed for a while. You'll be allowed back. But a guy that like him, it might be his career. Yeah.
Hey, I was thinking about this the other day, like that whole Me Too movement with the they said like Rose McGowan.
Yeah, Rose. She's like hard on Harvey.
But if you think about it, Hannibal Buress.
Who's Hannibal Buress?
He sparked because he made the comments about.
Is he a comedian?
Yes.
Yeah.
And he made the comments about
Harvey Weinstein?
No.
Rose McGowan?
No, damn it, man.
Come on, you're making it
Bill Cosby. He made the comments about Bill Cosby.
Yeah. And that sparked it again.
And that like dredged up like old, and then people started coming out of the woodwork.
He got convicted,
dude.
right?
Yeah.
Bill? He's going to jail for like 10 years, right?
Yeah, well, he's going to appeal.
Well, he's going to die in prison.
He did his little shimmy when he walked out after his conviction.
Did he really?
His Bill Cosby dance shimmy.
Yeah,
and
I just,
he's
he's
a piece of garbage.
He is a piece of garbage because he probably would have fucked those women anyway because he was alone with them and you're Bill Cosby. Why did you need to friggin' dice that shit up?
Dude, I listened to
because he's a dark individual. They
Right,
used to bust comedians' balls for cursing, and this motherfucker's
Just get a
dark
blow
as
up
shit.
doll if you
and
want nothing, dude.
Yeah.
If you want no interaction, just get a fucking blow up doll and that's it, dude.
Dude, you can pay for whatever kink you're into or whatever like that. You got more money, but it's the power thing. It's the same thing as a child molester or a rapist or anything. It's not about the sex or the access. It's about the power.
Yeah, Harvey Weinstein thought he was sexy, dude. Jerking off into a potted plant and walking out in a bathrobe. That dude is like the exact opposite of a good-looking individual.
No, what's going to happen? We're going to supplant the how many times we mentioned how shitty The Last Jedi is with how many times we talk about Harvey Weinstein jerking it into a potted plant.
Because the concept of that, it blows my mind, dude. I like have to go back.
You never know. Catherine Kennedy might have got a star for Weinstein. Who knows?
No, she was smart enough to steer clear of that asshole.
I still can't wrap my head around to that situation, how that went down. Like
what? You're trying to.
Who was the person that he jerked off in front of?
Unfortunately, and this is the sad part, is unfortunately, I do want to be a fly on the wall to see how that transpired. I really don't understand.
Who was the girl that supposedly admitted that he did this? Was it Rose McGowan?
No, it was somebody else. It was somebody.
Was it famous?
Yeah, she was famous.
The Ashley Judd?
We're gonna have to do a fact check on that. I'll look that up.
Was it one of the Judd girl?
No, it wasn't a Judd girl.
No, but I heard she had a pretty harrowing experience too.
She did. She told him ran out of the room or something like that.
He wanted to give her a massage.
Yeah, he's a super cool.
He's a douche.
Yikes.
Back
I
on
would
topic.
pummel that dude into the earth, man.
Yeah.
I mean, not that I'm a woman, but God, what a piece of shit.
Hey, we have daughters, man. You have to fuck them.
Right?
Yeah. No.
Freaks me out.
Exactly. We talked about Adam Sandler and how is he getting paid to make movies these days?
How much is he making?
Well, he's not probably taking a step back. So I did a little bit of digging. He's not, he would make $15 million a film when he was making movies.
I know, but what was the deal with Netflix? It was a lot.
So he got a 4 picture deal, then it turned into an 8 picture deal. Here's the thing that's kind of crazy. He says the ratings on his movies on the Netflix out of 5, they're usually like 3.5, 4,
stars or whatever they call it. They suck.
And by the way, that's based off of almost 1 million ratings. So it's like people are watching his movies on Netflix.
I just pass over him.
Yeah, me too.
He's like the Tyler Perry of Netflix.
Absolutely.
No, he was smart though. You got to admit though, he was smart though. He knew in the regular movies. What was the last one that he put out that was anywhere decent? The comedian thing with
that was a good one.
Seth Green.
That was a good movie.
That's Seth Green. Seth Rogen.
Yeah,
They did like a MySpace thing in there. That was not bad, but I think that was like the last thing he put out. And he took advantage of this Netflix thing. They threw a bunch of dollars at him. He's like, my shit is getting old. Because how many times can you play the same character in every movie?
I still like that guy.
I know, I like him too. But
I do too. I just want him to make movies like he used to.
Yeah. But they never do.
So listen to this, though. It's important to that you put it into context, right? So from 1998 to 2011, almost every non-animated movie that Adam Sandler made or starred in and produced made over $100 million.
Wow.
Ballin'.
That's why Netflix is like, yep, we're going to give you 4 movies. And we're going to give you 4 more.
How much did they say? How much? No.
No. But they speculated.
I think it was like 50 or something.
Well, they speculated that he made $15 million in movies, so he's probably making something somewhere around.
Well, he's very like giving too. Like the Spade was talking about how he always hooks like everybody up that comes and does his movie. Like
totally, he's a Prince of guy. I heard
well, why do you think he got all those guys to jump in on what the movie where they all did where they
were they're all parents?
Yeah, they're all parents. Chris Rock was in it.
Grown-ups.
Yeah, they wanted actually.
I've watched every grown-up movie.
There's 2 of them, right?
Yes.
You're like,
I watched all 2 grown-up movies.
No, they wanted Chris. Who's the one that died?
Chris Farley.
Chris Farley. They wanted Chris Farley. That's why they got King of Queens.
Yeah, Kevin James.
It was actually when the part was written. It was written for Chris Farley, but he.
Yeah, and you know what? They're watchable movies.
They're good.
Oh yeah,
they're not bad.
But then you watch things like The Ridiculous Six.
I didn't even go there.
Do Over, and you're like, oh my god, this is terrible.
It's no Little Nicky.
Well, Little Nicky was one of them that didn't make.
I liked it,
million.
dude.
I know you liked it.
I knew.
Again, your taste in movies perplexes me.
Yeah,
the demon
have,
with the tits.
We
on
have
his head,
issues with that.
That's good comedy.
You wore a bra on his head.
It's awesome.
And then Grown Ups 2 did $133 million. So that is why it's not so much a fact check, I guess, because we didn't really get down to what he made in the deal, but it's more about why Netflix is
his prank calls were awesome.
Now, here, is he probably made the most money out of anybody coming out of Saturday Night Live?
Yeah, well, Will Ferrell.
Oh yeah, well
but
Bill Murray.
Bill Murray. Bill Murray.
Yeah, but that's pre. Because you could even argue Chevy Chase. Chevy Chase made it.
Nah,
Chevy Chase is back. He went back to doing sitcoms with Community.
Shit.
Nah, Bill Murray's the man, though.
Yeah, he was on a Bourdain episode.
Was he really?
Yeah,
in
North Carolina.
I gotta watch that.
Yeah, it was really good.
Love him, man. He's like, he's like my all-time favorite. Everything like when.
Well, you could go Robert Downey Jr.
Nah.
Robert Downey Jr. made some fucking cash.
Oh, you're talking about earners? We're talking about like the Saturday Night Live earners.
Yeah, Saturday Night Live straight up earners.
Yeah.
Well, he was from Saturday Night Live, dude.
I would say Eddie Murphy.
Robert Downey Jr. was off of Saturday Night Live.
Oh, that's right.
That is right.
I never
see, man. You snuck that in there.
See, I don't remember the episode.
That's a little trick.
I don't remember him on Saturday Night Live though. I have to go back.
Yeah, because he was only in for like 1 or 2 seasons. Him and
Julia Louis-Dreyfus.
That and
she probably won the
Anthony
most
Michael
awards.
Hall.
Yes.
I loved him, dude.
Me too.
Anthony Michael Hall. I loved him.
Dude, Weird Science.
He got all
fucking recognized, dude.
He got all fucked up with coke, though, man. He had such a great career ahead of him. He got Anthony Michael Hall.
Oh, did he?
Weird
Yeah, he
Science.
was all fucking drugged out, dude.
I didn't know that. He got buff.
He got buff for a while, but then he started getting into partying, coking out. Like, probably.
Hey, man,
That
it was
whole
the
Brad
80s,
Pack
dude.
had some issues.
It's the 80s. Fuck, it was a party.
Robert Downey Jr. only got out of it because he got the Iron Man role.
Dude,
it was the luckiest fucking role he ever got, but it was suited him well.
DeLoreans and 8 balls, man.
Here's a question to you about the Back to the Future. Who was originally cast for Michael J. Fox's role?
Oh, I know.
Oh,
that.
come on. You're a fan, dude.
Hold on a second.
I forget his name, too. I want to see if
He played in Mask. Rocky Dennis.
He also played in something else, too. It's like a weird guy.
Damn it.
Well, he was in Pulp Fiction.
He wasn't in Pulp Fiction.
I can't
He
think
was.
of it. Go ahead.
Was he
He
really?
was the drug dealer that gave him the
He was.
adrenaline shot.
Yes.
Stabbing motion.
Yeah.
I can't think of his name.
I don't know his name either. It's just, I was just curious because you're such a huge fan of that.
And he was in Some Kind of Wonderful, right?
Yes, that's what I was thinking. Some Kind of Wonderful.
Yeah, that was, hold on, I'm looking up the Googly Mooglies. And that was a John Hughes joint.
John Hughes, dude. Yo, speaking of which,
Starring Eric Stoltz.
Eric Stoltz.
And Mary Stuart Masterson. And Leah Thompson.
of course, Leah Thompson. John Hughes was a fucking champion, dude. He was an 80s champion.
It was my childhood, man.
He's the man.
Yep. And so, a couple more fun facts, or fact checks. Angelina Jolie's first movie.
It's not Hackers.
It's not Hackers.
What was it?
Cyborg 2.
Holy.
I didn't even hear
1993.
that. Oh my God, that's
Go
a B
check
movie.
out the trailer. Check out the trailer. It looks like the beginning of a porno. It's like really bad. Really bad.
She was hot in Hackers, though.
She was 18 years old when she did this movie.
Ooh, really?
Yeah. But she looks a lot younger. I'm like, yikes. Yeah, and she was opposite Jack Palance, who was the villain. Jack Palance was the villain in Tango and Cash. Tango
Oh, that guy.
and Cash.
He's been all over, man.
That's my impersonation for this week's episode. Yeah, he's been around forever. City
Yeah.
Slickers.
Dude, he was before that. He was in movies with John Wayne and
Yeah,
shit.
totally.
Dude, love John Wayne.
Billy Crystal, another Saturday
Guys,
Night
are
Live
you guys a fan of
representative.
old westerns?
Yes.
Love the Duke and all
Magnificent
that.
Seven,
Yeah.
the original.
Yeah.
Bum, 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 bum. Oh, fantastic. You'll be
El Dorado, great movie. Yeah.
Good, the Bad, the Ugly.
Good.
all the spaghetti westerns, dude.
Dude, Good, Bad, the Ugly was one of
That was awesome.
Yeah, it's a great movie.
The music.
And then our era, Young Guns, son.
Yes.
Emilio Estevez.
I like
son.
both of them. Both
Yeah,
of them were
they're both
good
good.
movies, dude. I like them.
How are they going to get out of that house, damn it?
Luggage, Davey. Throw the luggage out. That was awesome.
Trunk. It's like, pow, pow, pow.
Yeah, it was great.
So good, man.
I loved the second one with Dave Rudaball with
yeah. Well, Dermot Mulroney.
yeah.
Yeah.
No, who played Dave Rudaball? That was Christian Slater.
That's right.
Christian Slater played Dave Rudaball.
That's right. Casey Shamasco.
Yeah.
His best work still going.
Chavez.
That's right, Lou Diamond Phillip. Did you guys ever see Silverado?
I did.
I love that.
It's a good movie.
Kevin Kline.
Kevin Kline and
Kevin Costner.
Kevin
I
Kline.
remember
Yeah.
that.
It's a funny
Danny
spoof.
Glover.
It was a good movie, dude.
Yeah,
It was a
really good movie.
Yeah.
But we digress. But that's what we do here at the Nick, John, and Jamie.
All right, let's get to the Game of Thrones. Come on.
All right.
I'm itching.
All right. Real quick, one more fun fact, real quick. Marvel versus Capcom. They released a 2017 version called Marvel versus Capcom Infinite. I know
On
you were
what?
asking about that.
On what?
And on
Xbox?
all the platforms, I believe.
Oh, yeah.
Who knows?
It's
That
on
might be
Xbox.
Okay, so now let's journey to Westeros. Our topic for this evening is.
Can I come in naked like everybody else does in that show?
You can.
Shame. Ring the bell. Shame.
Do you know that really wasn't her? They actually,
They body doubled that?
Cersei, yeah, they did.
Really?
That was not her.
That was like some magic.
Now, be a fact check, but I'm 99% sure that was not her.
They couldn't. That was an awesome scene, by the way. All right, so
Yeah.
we digress.
They had to give.
Now it just ruined it just a little bit.
They had to give her a merkin. No,
Yeah, I know it is.
You had to admit, though.
Some public hair,
You
son.
had to admit the first season there was a lot
Were
of
you
nudity,
were surprised
man.
I knew that.
I was a little surprised.
I didn't know that.
We don't need to fact check.
I'm
Merkin.
gross. I'm gross.
Well, you know why they had those things?
All right, tell me what a market is.
All right, Merkin's a toupee for the women's nether regions.
Really?
Yeah, because in this day and age, literally, who's got hair down there?
No,
Yeah.
you either have
Unless
the
you're changing it up once in a while.
landing
Once in a while.
landing pad or nothing.
Well, it was back in the day when nothing wasn't. You wanted to be a woman. You wanted to be.
Yeah, you're rocking a coin slot.
But
It's all about the bush. All about the bush.
But things were not as cleanly, so people would get nastiness down there, and they had to shave it off.
Yeah.
So they'd get a toupee down there working.
Oh, yeah, dude.
God, I think I'm going to gag.
Hang your merkin out to dry.
We're dealing in anatomy, man.
So, Game of Thrones. I know we're on hiatus, but we have to talk about it. I mean, it is steeped into the stuff that we love.
No, real quick, where does Game of Thrones rank in your favorite shows of all time? Just not
All time, favorite show of all time.
mine too.
Yeah.
Man, I don't know.
Television show.
Yeah.
Television show? Like just straight up?
Straight
television?
up.
I'm going to have to see Seinfeld. But then Game of Thrones is up there, dude.
Yeah.
Except for that last episode, Seinfeld. That was pretty bad.
Yeah.
But yes, Game of Thrones is up there.
All right, go ahead.
It was Game of Thrones or what was the one with Vicky the robot?
Oh, shit. Small wonder, dude.
Small wonder.
80s son.
I like that too.
She's a small wonder. And then the brother's name is Jamie, son. And he was always pumping them like 5-pound weights.
Yeah.
Where do you think Jamie got his name from? His parents were a fan of the show.
Yeah.
His middle name's Alf.
Yeah. Dude, another good show.
Like,
It's from Melmac.
Yeah,
It's from
Cats.
Melmac. It's from
Cormac.
Melmac, dude.
Oh, the 80s were delicious.
Right.
So it's one of our favorite shows, or the favorite shows of two of us besides Jamie.
Dude, it's up there.
It's an amazing show.
Fucking A, it is.
Dude,
Amazing
the
show.
writing,
Listen, there's sex, violence,
comedy,
tasteful
comedy, not just like
good
slapstick.
story. I mean, how can you go wrong?
There's nothing.
Magic,
And they have
dragons.
and they also have points where you're thinking it's unpredictable.
Yeah, it's like a chess game.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. The first season when Ned Stark gets his head chopped off. Who in their
Episode
right
9.
mind? We talked about this a couple weeks ago. I swear to God, I thought somebody was going to fucking save him. I said, there's no way
Absolutely.
this guy's dying.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what,
Yeah.
that opened up for other shows doing the same thing where they kill off the main character.
Yeah, that's
And
never happened.
I don't care what anybody says, that definitely started something else.
Agreed. So, since we're just stepping into this, and we're just getting off of fact check, we can do a fun fact about Game of Thrones.
Go ahead.
All right. So now this is, I thought was really kind of interesting. And you talked about Ned Stark being killed episode 9, first season. You think he's the main character of the whole thing, and you're like, what the hell just happened? Well, Game of Thrones, if you're an actor on Game of Thrones, there's no such thing as a safe space, right? You could be killed off, doesn't matter when. Game of Thrones, now these are characters, this is an interesting statistic, characters that have been killed. These are actually people that have gotten scripted roles in the movie. 195 characters have been killed in Game of Thrones.
Scripted.
They have they could be in they have a name, and yeah, scripted characters. They have a name. They could be like, be like, yes, sir, I'll get out of the way. But
Didn't they estimate how many people actually died too? I think they did.
Everybody,
Everybody,
even in the
fight
battles
scenes,
and all.
I didn't
catch that one, but I was
I
like,
didn't-
holy shit, 195. That's a
Dude,
ton.
it's awesome.
It's 7 seasons.
Yeah, it's awesome.
They're-
Every second of it is awesome, man. Even I know we're going to get into this a little bit. Even the characters we hated,
yeah.
and I actually hate too, just have such meaning to the show. It's
Yeah.
just, it builds up so much animosity. You're like, oh, this person needs to die in a gruesome, horrible, painful way.
And by the way, we're going to spoil the shit out of a lot of stuff.
sometimes they do, and sometimes they don't. But
Great show. Started in 2011. They're up to 7 seasons. They're finishing up. Did they wrap season 8?
no, they're almost done.
They're about to wrap season 8. Looking for that to be out next April of next year, right? 2019. And boy, are we stoked!
Only 6 episodes.
Can't wait
too.
to hear that fucking theme music,
Yeah.
dude.
Oh, man.
And I was
You
just
can do
gonna
it so well.
say
Do
that.
it. Do it. John does it well. Yeah.
But that's the thing. And I walk around the house and they have a commercial for it and everything. And I've seen it. But it's like, you hear that music and you see that sundial flying around and you're just stoked.
The only other theme song that does better is Star Wars.
Yeah.
But it's like 1 and 1A. Dude. Yeah. It's like there. I never thought anything could compare to that with me.
It's the fastest hour on television.
Oh, it really is.
It gets done.
I feel like they cheat you. I feel like they cheat.
And there's no commercials, right?
I feel like they cheat.
So it's not even like 44 minutes or whatever it is.
Like some of the times when they're like doing episodes, like I guess it was season 5 when one with the younger Starks, what's her name? That was in The Faceless God.
Oh yeah, she has needle.
Arya. I know it means something now because you find out in season 7 how cool she becomes, especially when she kills everybody at that river run.
Yes,
that was badass. But dude, I was like, all right, what the fuck does this mean? All right, can we just get back to Jon Snow, Daenerys? Can we get back to Cersei? But then you find out later that the whole part really meant something because she needed to learn that for what she needs to do in the future to help whatever she needs to do. And it's just like, it's so intricate. Everything's webbed in certain ways. And the guy is a mad scientist because I'd never seen a piece of writing. And I read the first book and it was phenomenal, but I just get into the second book.
There's 5, right?
5 that he wrote.
And then like novellas and stuff like that.
Right. He hasn't released 6 or 7 or 8 yet.
Yeah.
I think he has them done. I think he's just waiting.
So, favorite character?
I'm Jon Snow.
Yeah?
I like Dinklage. Dinklage is probably my favorite, but if you really want to go, it's Jon 1, Dinklage 2.
Jon and Dinklage. Dinklage is in my list.
Dude, that fucking Night King, dude.
The Night King that you're talking about.
Dude, he is badass.
Yeah. No, he is. But he doesn't do much.
Dude,
it scares the shit out of me, but he doesn't do much.
And like the mysterious factor of like who he actually is.
Yeah,
I think he's Bran the Builder.
That would be wild, man.
That would be wild, wouldn't it be? I think he's like a Stark or a Bran the Builder or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, some people are saying there's some trippy things like he might
be Bran.
Yeah, you were saying it might be
regular Bran, the regular Bran Stark.
Like there's a weird loop, right? Because he can go back and interact with the past. Mm-hmm. And we are not experts, right? We're fans of the show.
Speak for yourself, dude.
Well, I'm not an expert.
No, I'm not either. I'm just kidding.
We're fans of the show. There are conversations that are happening that are so deep and so geektastic that we're not part of those conversations. We dig the show. We watch it on the regular. And just, are fans, but not theologians or carefully studying every nuance.
Who's your favorite character?
Bronn.
Bronn's great, dude. I love when
he takes the piss out of everybody.
I like the other guy up north that has with Jon Snow.
Bane's beard or what's his name?
The red.
He's all into the big blonde woman.
Tormund.
Oh, he's great too, man.
Yeah, he's fantastic.
Bronn's fun too, though, man. Yeah. He's like when he was talking to Jamie and all the other girls are looking at Jamie. He's like, I like hanging with your brother better.
He doesn't think any shit. He's badass. Like he's not.
Whoever's paying him the months.
That's right. He's a mercenary, and he's so goddamn funny, right? Like he'll be like, just in last season when the one guy gets introduced, he calls his name's Deckard, and he's like, he just giggles like real quick. Like that. And everybody got the joke.
Well, that's what's so great about the show is you have these serious characters. You have Jon Snow, Daenerys, even Jaime's serious.
Yeah.
But then you add these little Sam. Tell me this. If Sam wasn't introduced in the first season / second season, nobody probably would have liked Jon Snow because he's too fucking serious all the time. It's like, dude,
why he's not
lighten
on my
the
top
fuck
list.
up, man. Exactly. Sam humanized Jon Snow. Before that, I really could care less about Jon.
And what's her name? Ygritte.
Yeah, Ygritte. Yeah, totally. They both did. And the same thing with who you just said. I can't remember his
Ygritte?
name. No, your favorite character.
Oh, Bronn.
Bronn humanized Jamie.
And he
bantered with Dinklage.
Yeah, with Tyrion.
Tyrion was his own guy. Tyrion didn't need anybody. I mean, that first season, I think every fucking word that guy came out of his mouth, I cracked up.
He's like, I'm a drunken, horny little monster, and I know it.
Hey, bastard!
yeah.
We're all bastards in our father's eyes.
He was the most interesting character early on because it was obvious that he was a dwarf, right? And he wasn't going to be able to hold his own in combat.
But he knew he would learn was the way to go. But he also seeked his father's approval for so long.
It was complex.
He was a very complex. He was probably, if you really think about it, probably the most complex individual through the whole show. Because you look at everybody else; they always had a set goal. This is like Edward Stark was like, honor. Above anything else, you stick by family and all that. Jon Snow, same way. Cersei was kind of always about whatever's good for her and her family. All these people. He was always like, you were always trying to figure out what side he was on. Was he for the good side, or was he for his own side, or was he for his family side? And he had the comic relief where he didn't give a shit, or did he give a shit? And he was trying to help certain people out.
Well, that's why I liked his character too, though. He progressed into something that now it seems like he's in it for like the greater good.
That's why he's my second favorite character. I've always liked
awesome.
him.
Well, and that's the best part about this show is the evolution of these characters. I mean, when you first get introduced to Jaime Lannister, you're like, what a piece of shit.
He threw a kid out the window.
I know, right? And he's banging his sister, and it's like, you're like, what a depraved, immoral piece of garbage.
But then you got to think of the context. What he was in is if he was found out, his kids would have been killed. Mm-hmm. His wife, the person he loved the most in the world would have been killed.
Yep.
So, I mean, he's granted he sounded arrogant, careless. He did it without any feeling in the world, which is horrible. But then you find all this out later that why he does what he does.
Yeah,
it's for his kids and obviously Cersei, who he's obsessed with.
Yeah.
But
to your point, though, I mean it's why the show I think has captivated people in such a way that it's got this voracious following.
Yeah,
it's the transformation of these characters. Jon Snow didn't even sit at the table; he was the bastard son. I didn't read the books, so every episode I'm discovering something new, and there's another level, and there's all kinds of details that are starting to
which is unfold. Why it's a great rewatch factor.
What's the thing out of like all the episodes? Like, what's the thing that sticks out the most that you're like, holy shit? And I got one that rolls up right.
Oh, you mean an episode that just shocked you?
Well, just like something that you're like, damn, I get it. Now,
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, for me, it was like the Hodor thing.
Oh, I was going to go there.
That's like my favorite one. When it was like, hold the door. I'm like, what? And then you see like pictures on the internet of like door stops with like Hodor.
But you know what? That you're absolutely right. Because like before Jon Snow's parentage came out, there was all rumors that that's what it was. So you kind of had an idea before it actually came out. The hold the door thing blew my mind, and the Red Wedding.
Red Wedding
blew my mind.
Blew my fucking mind. When they stabbed that bitch's stomach, I was like,
yep.
I mean, it's one to kill her. Yeah, you're going to kill the baby once you kill her, but they killed the fucking baby before they cut her.
Because they knew. They're like, this is a society of revenge, man.
Yeah,
you kill the bloodline. You don't let that shit. You don't let this kid get born and then have him grow up and come and kill you.
One thing you learned about Game of Thrones is, man, they don't care, kid.
Nope.
You could be freaking Jesus Christ and they don't give a shit, dude.
Yeah.
They'll kill you.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. I mean,
newborn baby Jesus, you're done.
Yeah, that's right. But to your point, Jamie, it's like there was. I'm just taking a glance at my notes. There's a ton of them. There's a ton of those moments. Yeah, the Ned Stark one was the biggest one for me because that set the pace for everything else. Yeah, but there was some holy shit moments. There's so many.
Wow, the mountain when he crushed what's his head.
Because one, you didn't think he was going to die, and then when you're like, man, now he's got a hold of him. Wait, what just happened?
Pop! You're like, holy shit! I didn't know what I didn't know what to do.
Yeah, and then Jamie's like telling him, he's like, he foreshadows it by saying he's surprisingly fast for being as big as he is, and he just got cocky, and it was just like, and he hits him once, and teeth go flying out of his head, and you're like, this is dumb.
I will say this about Jamie: the one thing I do wish I got to see, because they always talk about how he was the greatest sword fighter in the land with his right hand. You never really got to see that. You got to see it briefly when he fought Ned.
Yeah,
but you really wanted to see it, because when you do the flashback episode to the Tower of Joy, and they see the one dude that was supposed to be the greatest of all time, he was fucking rocking, dude. Yeah. He took on like 6 dudes with 2 swords and fucked them all up.
Well, then you see him as an old man, right? And he's still a badass, right?
No, not the same guy. You're talking about
I'm thinking of something
the Tower of Joy.
Oh, I know. In the flashback, with
the Tower of Joy,
Bran.
this guy was supposed to be the greatest swordsman that ever walked the earth.
Yeah.
The old man was just supposed to be the greatest King's Guardman that was ever a part of the King's Guard, or something like that. I don't know. But this guy was like the baddest dude, and he just like fucked them all up, you know. And everybody always said Ned Stark beat him, so it was like always the rumor, you know, how good Ned Stark was. But Ned actually, we find out later, never actually beat him 1-on-1.
Yeah, and I thought that was clever too. How he did a little nod towards legend, right?
Yes,
you know,
and it's all point of view.
Yeah,
and there's only 2 people there, whatever.
Yeah, whoever wins tells the story.
And you know that guy's still alive too, right?
No, I didn't know that.
The guy that was there with Ned, it's Reed. What the hell is her name? The one that's traveling around with Bran. The girl that's traveling with Bran.
Yep,
it's her dad.
Oh, no kidding.
Dude, I should go back.
So
and
many
watch
layers.
Yeah, it's like you got to go back just to memorize all the names. And
I remember when I first I rewatched it twice. Now this is how much of a geek I am.
That's how much time you have.
And well, the second time I rewatched it with my wife, so we were cool.
Okay.
But you rewatch it, and like the first season, the very first episode, Ned Stark and King Baratheon were talking about Jon Snow's parentage. And
that's right.
And they were talking about it, and then Ned Stark was talking to Jon Snow right before that and said, "You are Stark by blood." And it's always like been a question on my mind. That's when I started.
It was like, we'll talk when I get back.
That's when this was during episode 4, season 4, and we rewatched it right before 5, me and Shannon. And that's when I was like really trying to put it together. I'm like, dude, there has to be some important lineage to Jon Snow. It just, they focusing on him too much to just be a bastard in the whole show. It made no sense. When I rewatched it, I'm like, all right. Then you put together that Ned Stark is the most loyal. The guy is like notoriously loyal through the whole show. Anybody in the show, oh, you're Ned Stark's son. He's a great guy, so loyal. Yeah. Why would the fuck would he ever cheat on his wife? Come on, seriously.
Yeah.
So, and then you just start putting facts together, and it's just like, then somebody released that theory, and it's just like the theory made perfect sense.
Yeah, and he didn't even tell his wife. Like, he didn't betray his sister's promise.
Right. And that was the main thing. There was the promise to the sister that he could not give up, because he knew if it got out, what's his face would have killed Jon Snow easily. And not to mention, Jamie, I know I told John this. Do you know how the producers got the green light to make the show from J.J. What's his name? J.J. Martin or R. Martin?
J.R.R. Martin.
J.R.R. Martin.
No, I don't.
Well, he only released 5 books. The 5th book doesn't explain who Jon Snow's parents are. They had to answer that question after reading the 5 books. And he said, I'll let you do the show if you tell me who Jon Snow's real parents are. So they had to come up with the guess, because they didn't release that until the end of season 6 or 7. 7. About who.
No shit.
And he wasn't going to let them do it unless they could answer the question. They said, read the books, come back to me. And they read the books, and they came back with, and this is before all the theories and stuff were out there, because the books have been out since, I think 2011 was the last one. 5 got dropped.
Yep.
And it was just, it had to be a tough call, but that's just so cool that they picked it out and he allowed
George
them to do it.
R.R. Martin.
George R.R. Martin.
No, it's really great writing. I think to your point, Nick, the producers respect the material, and then they got this following, and now they're like, dude, we got to invest, and then they start to invest, and then you're starting to see dragons, and it's not hokey like a sci-fi movie dragon, right?
You watch them get bigger too. It wasn't like, boom, there's a dragon. It's like you got these little things running around on Daenerys with how your wife dressed for Halloween the one time.
Totally.
Yeah, it was cool. But they grew up, they got bigger, and you're just getting amazed. And like as soon as the dragons popped on the scene, magic started to appear again.
Yes.
Which was even cooler.
But then when they killed the one, I knew immediately what was going to go down, dude.
Because in that same episode, right before that, there was a dead bear.
Yes.
So you're thinking, oh, fuck, this could happen to animals, too.
Yes. That scene, and when that dragon, they pulled that dragon out.
That was cool, too, how they like showed them dragging it out of the...
Yes. Well, and like, that's the terror. It's like, you go and defeat an army, and they're dead. And then you keep defeating people, and they're dead, and they're dead, and they're dead. And then, it's like, storming. It's like World War II. You just keep killing people until you win. And this is like, no, we kill people and we grow stronger and bigger.
That's
and
another
badder.
great scene.
Yeah.
That's why they want the battle.
When Jon Snow first went into there, and they fight all those White Walkers, and they're sailing away. Like, they narrowly escape. They're sailing away, and then the Night King just raises his arm.
And they all get up, and you're just like... You're like, dude, your jaw drops.
How the fuck do you beat that? And that's that part in the show that grabs you. You're just like, they're doomed.
Yeah.
Like, how do you defeat that? It's, like, impossible.
Uh-huh. And then in the the last episode, they basically hand them a dragon. And he's like, well, remember that magic protected, brand the builder wall? You just gave us the perfect hammer to take it down.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then you're like, wow. What?
All because she fell in love with Jon Snow.
Yeah. Well, yeah. And so that's an interesting take too. But that was another oh shit moment for me. Like, holy cow.
When the dragons lighten up the wall.
Totally.
Yeah, but the whole thing about her, she had to see it though, because she didn't really believe it.
Yeah.
She had to lose the dragon to really see it to believe it.
Totally. And that's another thing. Nothing's a throwaway.
They're all little tidbits, like the Hodor thing. We took that for granted for how many seasons?
Yeah, I was like, what the fuck's he talking about?
What is this guy's problem, Hodor?
And I was like, hold the door. I was like, damn it.
Sure. And how they created the Night King, dude, that was a shocker too. Like when you find that out, you're just like.
But then I like how they left it a mystery of who he actually is. That's pretty awesome.
I think that's where the preludes come in. I think that's great. And I know we were going to touch on this, but I think what they're going to do, I mean, they're going back 5 to 10,000 years. You have a plethora of information that's speculated through the show.
Yeah.
Not verified. The only thing that ever was verified was how the Night King was created. Not who the Night King was, but how it was created. So, I mean, it's crazy what you really could do with that.
There's so many opportunities, like so many different. You were talking about, the whole thing behind Valeria, right?
Yeah, you can go there.
Like, here's this now a city in ruins, right?
That was an epic empire, bigger than Westeros, that controlled the known world for hundreds of years. And just by dragons and magic, and it was a supposedly city to rival all other cities. Now you go there and you get some kind of skin disease that can take over your body. I forget what they call it, scales or
it's like stone men. They were
stone men,
I forget what the affliction is, but
yeah,
it's a juicy, ripe world.
Oh, yeah, real quick on episodes that freaked me out. Remember the episode when Daenerys and all them were at there's 2 episodes I like about the Daenerys thing, when she was at Slaver's Bay, when she was dealing with the poppies, the son of the poppy, and she was doing the games and like the one, her old right hand man was in the games, and he grabbed a spear and he chucked it across her, and all the poppies were behind it. Dude, that mask freaked me the fuck out when you looked around the stadium and there were all like thousands of them. You're like, holy shit. And then the whole scene goes, and then the fucking dragon comes. And
I love how she deals with it.
You see Tyrion go. Yeah. Like his jaw just drops because
and the dragon's like as big as it's ever been, right?
Yeah. That was totally cool.
There are some very righteous moments, man, where you're just like, yeah, that's what we've been waiting for. Yeah. Come get some.
It builds up, and you're like, damn right.
Yeah.
Like the other Daenerys scene where they retake back Slaver's Bay because they Daenerys shows up and she's right at the last minute and fucking annihilates the slavers because they tried to take that one capital back.
Totally, man. There's so many moments just the Battle of the Bastards, right?
It was great.
Ramsay.
Ramsay Bolton finally gets his. It's like you hope your dogs are hungry,
dude.
Ramsay.
That guy,
that was awesome too.
Yeah,
that guy,
poetic justice,
right?
I think that guy was the sickest guy in the show. I mean,
he's my number one as least favorite character.
Yeah, he's the sickest motherfucker.
Joffrey's second.
Joffrey's definitely
number 2.
I think Joffrey was just twisted in the fucking head.
Yeah,
Ramsay Bolton was just evil, man.
Yeah,
it was straight up.
That
evil.
shit
you
was
cut off a guy's dick, man. You got
and then forced him in a pen, man. That was brutal, dude.
As far as least favorites, the next one I go Cersei next, and they're not my least favorite. Like I think they're all fantastic, because you have to have a good villain. But the ones that I really wanted to fucking get theirs, these are the ones. Cersei's 3, Littlefinger 4.
Yeah,
you know what?
And then Walder Frey is 5.
Yep,
5. Their dad, Cersei's dad.
Oh, Tywin.
But I didn't hate him. I hated him, but I respected him.
I loved him in Last Action Hero.
And he was also good in I Want the Knife.
That's right. The Golden Child.
Yeah. No, I hated him, but I respected him because the guy was so like I'm for my family. It's logistics, literal.
He's old school.
This is the best option. I could give a shit. And sometimes you would turn around and it's like, dude, he's like super nice to fucking Arya at this one scene where he's like helping her.
That's why it's so good, man. Because they got the characters have depth and dimension. Yeah. That's what I mean. Is
and then he dies on the shitter.
I know. Gets plugged by his son.
Yeah, but that had to happen like that.
Yeah,
I think Tyrion. That was a build up for Tyrion's character. It really was.
Another interesting character you don't know too much about, the eunuch. The
spider.
Yeah, man. Fucking interesting.
What is his deal?
Yeah. That's the key, dude. Like he's gonna pop in something. I'm telling you. Something.
You think there's something more? She confronted his ass in the last season. Yeah, she almost got rid of him. She goes, "What is your deal?" And I've always been for the ground. And she's like, "I know you got me where I'm here, but I don't trust you." Pretty much at the end, it's prove your trust.
Yeah, but he was the one that was getting the information.
He was playing both sides of the fence.
Yeah, and he had informants all over the world.
Little kids, and that was her deal. She hated that.
Yeah, what did they call them? Your little birds or something?
Little birds, yeah. Little birds.
Yeah, it's a great character. Talk about someone who's been through some shit, right?
Yeah.
He got put in a box.
The wizard.
Yeah.
Then he got the wizard and put the wizard in the box.
That's right.
He was fucked so the wizard
chilling,
up,
man.
Dude. There's so many. You know what? The first season, if you guys ever venture to rewatch.
Oh, I'm going to.
You pick up so much, especially the first season, because there's so many old references that you don't realize until later.
Uh-huh.
It's just they're name dropping and you're just like, oh my God, now I get that.
Yeah.
I get this. Like Littlefinger, the whole thing about Littlefinger and loving
Lord Baelish,
loving what's her face. But he always he must have mentions the whole thing with what the hell was Mad King's son again? I forget his name. You said it earlier.
Rhaegar.
The whole thing about Rhaegar winning that tournament. He talks about it 3 or 4 times in the whole series.
Yeah.
But now you go back and you watch it and you're like, oh, I get it. Rhaegar handed the flowers to Lyanna Stark. Mm-hmm. Now it makes more sense why he was doing that, because he was in love with her, she was in love with him, and it drove Baratheon mad.
Oh,
you know what I mean? He got him. it led to a lot of other things. Just little tidbits.
Yeah, and it's one of those things where I'm totally stoked for this next season. I mean, they leave you in this space where you're like, all shit has just broken loose. Literally, the wall is down. The White Walkers are on the march. There's nothing to stop them, right? Seemingly, nothing to stop them. You also get left with kind of this culmination of who Jon Snow is.
And he's fucking his aunt.
Yeah.
Cersei.
Apparently incest
Cersei's like, got another twist in it.
Yeah.
But do you want to hear my theory about who Cersei died? Because you remember the one episode when she was younger, she went and saw some witch in the woods and saying, you will be queen, but all your kids will die, and you will die at the hands of your brother. She always thought it was Tyrion. I think it's going to be Jaime.
Jaime, yeah.
I think Jaime's going to be the one to chop that bitch's head off.
Yeah. It's going to be one of those things where he just knifes her.
I'm just worried because, how Seinfeld ended, how Sopranos ended. It's the only thing that worries me because this is
6 episodes.
This is my all-time favorite show, and if it ends bad, that could drop. Seriously, so Sopranos was awesome show. If it ended appropriately and how it should have, or in a way it would have tied everything together, it probably would have been a lot of people's number one show.
Yeah, well, it wouldn't have gone to a blank screen. But the only thing with Sopranos was, I'm telling you, after
Pussy
died, man, that's my theory. That show started going downhill.
It probably did, but Seinfeld.
It was good. That was the only bad episode. If you go back and watch all those episodes,
it taints everything.
Not for me, because I just take it and throw it away. Because if you take it and throw it away and pretend,
all right, you could do that with that comedy. Yes, you could.
Yeah,
but with a show like this that has this massive build up, you
just saw us on a blank screen like Sopranos. I'm good.
You cannot. This is everything. You know what I mean? Whether Jon Snow or Daenerys gets the crown or whatever.
So what's your prediction?
Ooh, that's a good one.
I think they all die.
No, I don't think they all die.
Thanos comes down and snaps his fingers.
I think Jon Snow was the prince that was promised.
So you think he gets the throne?
No, I didn't say that.
Okay.
I think he's the prince that was promised. I think he ended up defeating the Night King. I think he ends up losing his own life doing it. But I also think he had sex with what's-her-face. So by right, his heir would be with her anyway. And that's how it goes.
Yeah, I think that's a pretty safe bet.
Yeah. I mean, I think he dies at the end, but she's not the queen because he would have been king. It's their kid that...
What if the Night King sits on the Iron Throne?
There you go. Now you're asking for another show. I mean? Another show.
It's the second winter.
Yeah. You know what? It wouldn't surprise me because
would you be
I mean, they'd have to cross over to Essos, right?
Probably, right?
But yeah, I mean, Daenerys can still rule from afar, right? She'd have to take back Westeros, but if she doesn't die,
I don't think it's going to happen that way. I think it's
but it'd be fun. It'd be a fun way to.
What if Dinklage took over? That would be awesome. Yeah. Hookers and wine for everybody.
No, I think it's going to play out like you said, Nick. I think we're both on the same page. I mean, I don't see who else. Well, what's been prophesied, right?
Evar Savar, the prince of I can't even say his name.
I forget what it was. It was the
I don't even know.
I know what you're talking about.
Like a high, like a honey.
Yeah. All those red women keep coming around prophesizing about this kid. This.
Well, that's another thing too. The Lord of Light. What's the whole fucking concept of that? That's pretty cool too.
They're all cool. They're all a bunch of old gods, new gods, and you're kind of trying to figure out which is the god. You know what I mean? That the horse god from the Dothraki. You're trying to figure out. You're jumping from one to the next. Who the fuck is planning all this shit?
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's a ton of history that hasn't even been cracked open. Talk about what they're going to be doing in the future, but that history also has to tie into what's going on now. right? Because they're dropping little. There's a ton of little like breadcrumbs that nod towards the past.
Yeah.
Right. So if all those nods towards the past, that's going to be or I should have said seeds. That's going to be the seeds that I think foster this next iteration, the prequels.
Well, that's what I was hoping. At the end of this, you would hope they would have, like, at the end when this is finally over, like the last night, they'll have like a trailer of some sorts that you can watch.
Dude, I hope like hell they do that.
Because that makes sense, right? You get all these people lured up, geared up, and it's over, but then here you go, something to watch.
Yeah.
Little 30-second thing, you don't need a lot, just something.
Just a teaser.
Just a little teaser, like maybe Bran going back.
Just a tip.
Just a
tip in there.
Just the promise of something good.
But that's my theory. Do you guys have any other theories?
No, I mean, I think it's going to be something that has to harken back to, the wall when it was built all the time before the second, before the winter.
I got a question too. Isn't there something in the wall too?
There's supposed to be a dragon. That's what they said.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh, really?
There was supposed to be a dragon built within the wall, but that's what I heard. I read in a couple articles, and I don't know if it's true.
Because apparently, wasn't that like the last dragon?
No,
that was like the last dragon, and then they froze it in the wall or something.
No, the last dragon was one of Rhaegar's dragons, not Rhaegar's, but Aegon's. It was him and his two sisters had dragons, and that's how they conquered Westeros. And then they had offspring, but the offspring didn't mount to much because I don't know, something to do with dragons. But there were supposed to be dragons back when you were talking, and supposedly they put dragons. There was a dead dragon, and they built him inside the wall. I did hear that.
So here's the thing: did you hear anything about Nick? Did you hear anything about this prequel thing still being produced by the Benioff and?
No, it's not being produced by them
because they're making Star Wars movies.
They're going to do a Star Wars trilogy, The Old Republic. We talked about that.
Ooh, that makes me nervous.
Why?
Because
who's producing this? Who's producing it? Who's writing it? I did find out who was writing it. I can't think off the top of my head. Shit.
Dude, I was just looking at I'm looking at my notes. This is a massive production. Their locations they film in Northern Ireland, Croatia, Iceland, Spain, Malta, Morocco, Scotland, Canada, and the United States.
I do know what the one thing is they're going to have is because a lot of these places have ruins in the Game of Thrones. The new ones are going to have these buildings complete.
Oh yeah, that's right. Oh, that's pretty cool.
Where they're not ruins because they just either been built or getting built.
Yeah, it's new.
It's new, like Castle Rock or even some of Winterfell a little bit. You know, it's cool stuff. It's just going to be awesome.
It is going to be awesome.
I mean, who? Tell me who's not going to have like a Game of Thrones party when that first fucking episode pops out, dude, or the last.
Dude,
I mean, hell, we'll probably roll a podcast right after. I'm sure we will.
Yeah, no doubt. But until then, anything else to add?
I got nothing right now. What about you, Jamie?
I'm raising my hands so they all rise.
Nah, it's all going to be great, man.
It is going to be great. It's a fantastic series. We're just totally stoked about what's coming up. You said 6 episodes, Nick.
Hour and a half long each, supposedly.
Hour and a half?
Supposedly.
Ooh, man.
That's how they got around.
Pants just got tight.
Do you know that's how they got around paying the main characters? I believe because the 3 of them were getting $1 million an episode.
Wow.
So now you're only paying for 6 episodes.
Yeah, HBO is notoriously cheap too.
Well, not with this,
not as cheap as MTV.
Not with this, though, man. They are forking.
Yeah, but they're like notoriously
money.
cheap for paying characters and
I'll
stuff.
say this, HBO, not to get off topic too much. I know we want to end it.
Go for it.
They have produced some of the best fucking shows.
Dude, I tell you all the time, The Wire.
Yeah, The Wire.
Yeah,
I have to watch that. Everybody raves about The Wire. The Wire. Rome was awesome. The first season of Rome.
Deadwood.
First season, Deadwood was the first season. You guys both got to watch Rome because I know you're a history guy. First season of Rome was phenomenal. The what they did with the backdrop, you're always all into how real it was.
Yeah.
They really went. I watched
historical accuracy thing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I watched the whole thing behind the scenes of the Rome, making of the Rome. They really went to the wire with that. Not pardon the pun, but
no, that's definitely on the list. I've definitely. I have a little bit of a hiatus. The only thing I'm watching now is Cloak and Dagger.
I got to get into that. You said it was good.
Yeah, I didn't watch any of it yet.
It's good. It's only 3 episodes in, so it's not a. If you want to stay current, you can just catch it as it's going.
Yeah.
I'm still in the Gotham. By the way, they killed the Joker off again, and then they brought him back, but as somebody else. Interesting.
Oh, man, I don't know how you held on.
Why aren't you watching Walking Dead?
I'm in it.
Last season.
I mean, you got 2 days free. Come on, get on that shit, dude.
Okay, so that will conclude this episode of the Nick, Jon, and Jamie Show. Thank you for joining us for this week's episode. Please be sure to subscribe to our show on iTunes and Google Play. And if you like the show, I mean, like the show, not just casual but really like the show, leave us a 5-star review. Thank you, everybody, and have an awesome week.